All right, everybody. Good Sunday morning. Meteorologist Alex Carter with you here on Weather Aware Live. Obviously, some things to track now across the CSRA. Hope you all are having a nice, quiet start to your Sunday. Again, mostly a cold rain for now. Temperatures hit 65 degrees in Augusta on Saturday afternoon. And because of that, we saw a few breaks in the clouds, especially along I-20 into the south. That's where we got a lot warmer yesterday. We're talking about this through the week. It was going to take a lot to start to get some of that snowfall to try and accumulate, much less just even fall to the ground. And here we are at this time, and finally, as of about 8:45, starting to see some of that changeover happening in parts of Tolliver County, Warren County, and Wilkes County. And there it is. And so you're seeing Washington, Crawfordville, Warrenton, these areas getting in on some snowfall now. And let us know what you're looking at. So if you are in Washington, if you are in Warrenton, Norris, Crawfordville, let us know what you're seeing out there. Your eyes in the sky. So make sure to give us those reports and send us some photos in the comments and let us know if you're seeing some of that snow changeover. Very likely right now in Washington, Crawfordville, Norris, and starting to see that moving into western Glasscock County as well. Mitchell to Gibson. Mitchell seeing some snow right now. Gibson seeing some rain right now. So again, we are starting to see that slowly but surely filtering in as we head through the morning hours. And if you are watching us, again, let us know where you're listening from, and we'll start to show kind of the radar in your area as we head through the next few hours. This is all going to start to transition over, and it's been a long wait, but you see where most of the snow has fallen. And look at this. This is the snow depth where the heaviest of that snow has fallen. Anywhere from Columbus, Georgia, all the way down closer to Albany, all the way up to the Macon Metro. And Atlanta even getting in on some of that this morning as well. So quite the mess there. Some spots getting up to about 3 inches in the Macon Metro. For us, we will not see anything of the sort. But you're already seeing some of that snow depth, and we're starting to see that accumulating in our area. So already showing some signs of that in Wilkes, Tolliver, and Warren counties at this hour. And here's the latest look at radar to show that. Again, most of this happening in our northwestern counties at this hour. So still a cold rain for most of us. And again, it's going to be tough for these accumulations to happen. You look at temperatures right now. And now at the freezing mark in Washington. So where temperatures get to freezing, that's where this is going to stick. Okay, so again, still some warm ground and road temperatures, but with some heavier snowfall rates that are possible for just a little bit, very brief period of time. That's where those accumulations start to happen. So if you're watching us, good morning. And if you have any questions, please let us know, and happy to answer those. Nora says, I'm in Augusta. I know it's a week away, but the weather app says there may be freezing rain next week. Is that true? We are watching a system close, Nora, and this one looks to be a little bit further north. That's what the trend suggests at this time. We're talking Tennessee, North Carolina. But again, we'll monitor that in the days ahead. Not necessarily as concerned about that one at the moment. Obviously, watching all eyes on what's happening right now. We're just going to get some very weak accumulations. Again, I think we will see a period of melting this afternoon around, say, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. So what little bit is left on the ground, which is not going to be for many places, again, we are expecting that to melt away this afternoon. We'll have a few slick spots Sunday night into Monday morning. But again, as we've been talking about all week long, this is a low accumulation event. And temperatures now getting to that point in Washington where we could see some minor accumulations starting up right at this hour. So if you're watching us, again, we are showing you a live look at radar and kind of what's happening across the CSRA as we head into the next few hours here. So let's see, any more questions we got, just let us know. And again, I'm checking those comments as we go through. But yep, right now, again, just mainly a snow changeover in Warren, Tolliver, and Wilkes counties. This is really starting to move in to places. And you see where the axis of the heaviest of this is. It's all trending further and further to the south. And, you see areas like Louisville and Swainsboro, Gibson, Waynesboro, anywhere on the Georgia side of the river is going to have that highest chance of noticeable accumulations. The Augusta Metro is going to be right on that edge of it. And then we get to South Carolina, and the accumulations don't look very much. And we'll show you how this is going to go. Here's the latest snow accumulation map. And you see that there, right now, we're going to get an update here over the next hour on this, but we're expecting totals at the max getting between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. And that's mainly the highest chance for that is on the Georgia side of the river. And this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. And then the Augusta Metro, we could see anywhere up to 1/4 inch. That's about the extent of it for Augusta. Aiken, Barnwell, Bamberg, Allendale, going to be very tough for you guys to get accumulations today, and that's simply because we're going to have time to warm up in your area. Not so much on the Georgia side of the river, where temperatures now are still in the 30s. 36 in Thompson, 32 in Washington, 32 right now in Crawfordville, and that's where those accumulations are going to start piling up here over the next little bit. So that's where the changeover is happening. And, again, I think this is going to start to move into the Augusta Metro, Rennes, Hepzibah, Harlem, Thompson, over the next, say, hour to 2 hours. And so we're going to start to see some of this trying to pile up for just a brief moment in time. So what time do I anticipate snow in Augusta? Nora, great question here. I think this is going to start to happen over the next couple of hours. So I think we're going to start to see that changeover potentially as early as about 10 o'clock in the morning, and you could see it until about noon. And once we get past lunch, I think that's going to be the last of it for Augusta. And it's going to move into our South Carolina counties past then. So we got a little bit of a ways to go. That changeover really starting to get more aggressive and moving into our western counties. Right now, Glasscock, Warren, Tolliver, and Wilkes County getting in on this. Thompson, you're right on the edge. So if you're in Warrenton, Thompson, Crawfordville, Washington, be our eyes. Please send us some of those photos and kind of what's happening in your area. I'm checking our station email. You can actually email those to enews@wfxg.com if you're looking to send us some of that footage. So let's see. And, thank you for trusting us this morning as we're tracking some of this snowfall. A lot of this is changing over right now. It's finally starting to show signs of that. But temperatures are still warm in a lot of spots near 40. And, again, as we get cooler, that's when that changeover begins. Melody, I see your question here. What is the time frame for Millen? I would say the next couple of hours looking pretty good for that opportunity. And I think Millen's going to be right on that edge. I think Highway 25 looks to be the dividing line for where we see accumulations and where we don't. So Augusta, right on that edge. Millen, right on that edge. And this is going to start to happen closer about, say, 10 to 11 o'clock in Millen. I think over the next hour, just a cold rain. But we'll start to see that switch over closer to 10 to 10:30, Melody. So if you're in Millen, you still got a little bit to go until that arrives. But it's all getting progressively more to the snow changeover. And a lot of this is shifting, just like we were talking about, south of I-20. That south trend is starting to take shape here. So you see how most of that is moving down towards Macon, riding along I-16. The northward edge of all this precipitation is just in the CSRA by a hair. So right now, still looking at totals at the max. Getting up to an inch is going to be very difficult with this. It's just too warm, honestly. And I think about 1/2 inch is about as high as we'll go in many spots. But we'll see what's happening. We'll see these snowfall rates right now in Warren County. And, not very impressive here. I mean, looking at some of these precipitation rates, just about 1/10 of an inch an hour. That's not very much. And that's why these snowfall totals are going to be pretty light, whatever does fall in Crawfordville, Washington, Warrenton areas right now. Ashley, thank you for that report. So Ashley reporting some of that snow changeover now in Thompson. Ashley, if you can catch a picture of that, make sure to send it in, put it in the comments. That would be much appreciated so we can kind of see what we're getting on these radar returns. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to our other Facebook page that we're streaming this on. Monitor your comments as well. Maryland and Hampton, South Carolina. Good morning, Maryland. I don't think you're going to see much in Hampton. I think you can see a few flakes flying, but accumulations will be slim to none. Angela, I think Edgefield is going to get very minor accumulations. You're right on that cutting edge line. I don't think it's going to be anything but maybe enough to coat the grass at best. So not looking at too much, Angela, for Edgefield. Brittany, not a lot of it is sticking to the ground, but here's that latest radar return, and you're seeing that now. Look at that. Thompson now included in the snowfall. So Thompson getting snow, it's just a matter of how much sticks. And right now, because we hit 65 degrees in many spots yesterday, especially along and south of I-20, it's going to be very hard for a lot to stick. We've warmed up the ground. We've warmed up the road temperatures. So anything that falls, again, because some of these snowfall rates will be a little bit heavier, still not going to be very significant on that front. And Ashley, thank you for sending that, by the way. So, again, viewer photo, viewer video. Make sure to send that in, and we will make sure to share that with y'all's permission, of course. Let's see. Yep, seeing just a few minor flakes in that video from Ashley. And, yep, it's trying its best. It's definitely trying its best. So we got a little bit of flurries, got a few flakes, not much on that. So, okay, that kind of shows me what the radar returns are looking like out in the open here. I'm assuming that'll pick up a little bit, though, however, as we head in the next few hours. April, thank you for that. Snowing in Thompson. So getting several reports of snow in Thompson, snow in Lincolnton. Thank you for that, Linda. I do think, Savannah, to answer your question, I do think we could see some snow in Windsor, South Carolina, in Aiken County. I do think it's not going to be much accumulation, but I do think that you're going to be able to see some flakes falling from the sky. That's for sure. Lexington, South Carolina, going to be a close call, Mantra. So good morning to you. I think you'll see some flakes, but not a lot of accumulation. That's going to be the theme for a lot of this. You're going to get it to see it falling from the sky. It's kind of like having our cake and eating it too, right? You get to enjoy the snow scenery, but the coating on the grass going to be very limited for us today. That's for sure. I don't think we're seeing a lot. Let's see. So any questions you got about the forecast, again, that's what we're here for. Of course, we can see your comments, and we're doing our best to answer each and every one of those this morning. So here is the latest radar, and anywhere from Thompson to Washington, Crawfordville, Norris, it's right on the line of Lincolnton. And, Linda, you were reporting you're already seeing some of that changeover in Lincolnton. And, the latest radar scan coming in the next, I'd say, 2 minutes. And we're continuing to see that changeover happening across parts of the western CSRA. So good news there. Some heavier bands of rain, some heavier banding happening in our southern counties right now. And that's all a good sign that we're going to see more downpours. We need the rain. We're still in a moderate drought. That's kind of something that's getting lost in the shuffle because of this rain-snow changeover that's happening. But the good news is we're getting some decent downpours right now in Louisville, Wadley, Rennes, Midville, down State Road 56 to Swainsboro. And Bartow getting some good showers as well. Millhaven, Sylvania, Millen, Barnwell. These are places that are getting some decent downpours as well. We need it. So on top of the snow changeover, we're also getting a meaningful rain in many spots. And here in just a moment, we're actually about to cut in on Fox 54. So we'll be right back with that. All right, so some of that snowfall starting to transition over parts of Lincoln County, parts of McDuffie County, Warren County, and Tolliver County. And we're about to be cutting in on Fox 54, giving everybody a quick update on what's happening here in the CSRA over the next few hours in just a moment. So make sure to tune in for that. And we will be here on Fox 54 as well as continuing our stream